Excel's biggest strength is its ability to calculate, and the huge collection of functions that come with Excel. Functions we all know of, like sum and average, max, min, and count, and even more. Some of us know lots more. What I want to do is show you how you can add to the functions that come with Excel with your own functions. This means that people don't need to know how to do complicated if statements or complicated VLOOKUPs if these functions have been made available using VBA. I've created a new file and I've saved it as Chapter 11. And now I want to insert a new module. And now I'm looking to insert some code from my code file. When I go to my code file, I want to go to the sub Calc Income Tax. Actually, no, I don't. I want to go to the function commission and the function income tax. Let's take both of these functions and copy them into the Visual Basic Editor. We have some red here which I need to investigate. And we have some pluses missing. There's a plus missing there. There's a plus missing there, and there's a plus missing there. So if you had the same issue, just make the corrections accordingly. Alright, these functions are not sub and end sub. These are literally function and end function. So we are creating our own functions. In fact, we're creating two functions, one called commission and one called income tax. Let's look at commission. We have a function called commission, and in the brackets we actually say that we need something called my sales to be able to work out the commission. So my sales as currency will ultimately return my commission as currency. Under the function name we always have a variable that typically does all the work. So I'm declaring my commission as currency. So commission and my commission are two different words. I'm declaring my commission as currency. I'm selecting the case depending on the sales. If the sales are greater than 10,000, then my commission is my sales times 0.3. And if they are greater than 5,000, then the commission is 25%, and if they're greater than 1,000, then the commission is 10%, otherwise the commission is 0. I end the select statement, and then my commission is handed over to commission. So the function commission is always the last statement. The function commission is equal to whatever the variable worked out in the end. And the same with true as income tax. The function income tax needs an income as currency for it to be able to give you an income tax value as currency. I declared my tax, who does all the works, and then I'm just declaring the standard constants. I select the case depending on my income. If the case is I earn under 14,000, then it would be taxed at 10.5%. If I earned less than 48,000, I'd be taxed at 17.5%, and so on. But after the end select, the my tax variable hands its value over to the income tax function. So let's see how this works. Now we actually need to save the file for the functions to work, and then we need to put in some labels and some values. So let's say we have a commission value here, and that commission value is based on a sales value. So let's actually put sales here and commission there. And over here I want to put income tax, actually put income, and under that income tax. Alright, let's say my sales were 20,000 and my income, let's say it was 72,000. I'm also going to select column B and press Control-Shift-$, which formats it to currency, and select column E, Control-Shift-$ to convert that to currency, and save. Now in B3 I want to put my function. I think the easiest way is either to hit the Insert Function button here on the formula bar, or press the combination Shift F3. I'm just going to hit the button. I'm then going to change it from most recently used to these various categories. What's a new category is the user-defined. The user-defined category is not typically there unless you've created some functions. So I choose user-defined, and here's my two functions. I see commission function and income tax function showing in my user-defined category. I'll start with commission and double-click that, or OK that, and it wants to know where's your sales. Well, my sales are in B2. It tells me my answer is ultimately going to be 6,000, so I go OK. And there's my commission. If I then go to E3 and think, right, I need to use my income tax function, I'll go Shift F3 just to be different. I'll choose income tax and OK. It says, where's my income? E2 and OK. And it says, well, if you earned 72,000, you will have an income tax of 14,680. Just like any other function, I can change these values. So if I sold only 1,000, then I get $100 commission. If I sold 5,000, then I get 125 over commission. If I earned less than 14,000, then I would be taxed that. And if I earned 48,000, I would be taxed that. So you can create not just subs and end subs, but functions and end functions. You can create your own functions which appear in the user-defined category, which make calculating very complex values quite easy for others.